Singing for me is a place where I reach deep inside of myself. Otherwise, like in your dreams, otherwise when I'm awake, I wouldn't be able to know that it's there. And I realized that quite early, and I decided, okay, so I'm going to be a singer then. I was born and raised in Tel Aviv, which is the crowded city, beach city in Israel, a very modern, vivacious place full of culture and food and young people, and it's very much in me. I feel, even though I only feel it more now that I'm not there. My parents are not musicians, neither are my grandparents or my family in general. But I started singing very early, just for myself. I was just walking around the street singing. It was just like something I would do. I was in children choirs for all of my growing up, plus until I left Israel, actually. I was quite shy in the beginning. I wasn't very much of an extrovert, so I wasn't the one who gets all the solos or anything. But inside of me, I think nobody knew, but I knew that I want to be on stage and I want to do this. And at some point, I decided I want to be an actress. And it was very like an abrupt decision, and everybody were quite surprised. Why are you, this shy person, are doing this? And after a while in the theater group, I discovered I am most expressive when I sing. My first teacher, when I studied in Israel, had most of her career in Germany and Austria. And she and her teacher was Hilde Tzadek, and she told me, you have to sing Lieder. I mean, that's the first thing you have to know. She really said, bring 5 new songs every lesson. Of course, I translated every word, but I didn't speak the language. I didn't have a... But I immediately felt like I know this. Like it's part of me. I immediately felt at home, even though it's far away. It's not Israel. It's not the mentality. It's not the culture. I had this Sehnsucht for it, which is a very beautiful word that I learned from Lida very early on. I had this yearning and for something I don't really know. I've never seen before, really. And they always made my body vibrate somehow. In a way that my head didn't really understand where it comes from. When I learned the language more and so on, I went into the poetry a lot more, and that created, it even it deepened this feeling. What Lida does is it gives you this immediate boom, this immediate connection to the imagery, to the emotion. And I think Lida is really pure emotion. That's what it is. And you need to be fragile for this. You have to be open. Heidelberg Lied Academy was one of the first things I've ever done in Europe after I finished school. And I met Thomas Hampson there. And arriving to the Lied Academy was for me, as a self-proclaimed lead nerd, I was in heaven for 2 weeks. Working with him is very, it's kind of a full circle surround system. He deals with everything. He sees you from head to toe. It could be your interpretation, your technique, the way you present yourself, the way you hold yourself. It's what you think of when you sing, what you think of before you sing. That's one of the things that I learned most from Thomas Hampson is think before, or imagine before you do it. That's a huge lesson. That's a huge lesson. That's changing everything. It's genius. I love that sentence. I tell myself that often, and I'm happy I learned it from him. I built the program, I researched for it. It took me a bit of time and a little bit of frustration. I was in this place of waiting, of this pandemic. It really confronted you with yourself. You really had to think, what is it that I'm doing? Why am I doing this? Have I changed the reasons of why I am a singer, why I am a musician? Is there other reasons? Is there other things I want to do? It became a very reflecting time. And I was looking in my Schubert books, and I had a few ideas, and I decided to just go on one song that speaks to me very much, and just to go from there and decide what it is actually that I'm looking for in this. Obviously, I'm restless. I'm not finding something, and maybe this would give me a clue to what I want to sing about, what I want to say. And one of the first songs that came up was Die Götter Griechenlands from Schiller and Das Sie hier gewesen from Rückert. And I think Das Sie hier gewesen is about absence in its core, and Die Götter Griechenlands is about some kind of a longing or a search for something that is not there anymore. I chose many songs that are dealing with different searches, and I think searching is good. It's good to always search, to not stop. In the end, that's what I kind of came up. What kind of relaxes me is to know that it's just the will of life. I really felt like I was going through something. It was very hard in the beginning. It was almost depressing. You know, it was like, oh, I can't find it. What's wrong with me? You know, a lot of kind of self beating up, and then also a place of being excited and finding something, realizing something, understanding something. And then when you go through all this poetry, that's the place where you really, they know. And then you hear the music that Schubert put into it. They understand me. They speak exactly to me and exactly to what I feel. And this feeling, that's comforting to know that other people felt this for years. And it's basic. It's a basic human thing that we all feel. And that's very comforting to know that we're all in the same boat. That's a sentence people say a lot during this time. We're all in the same boat. But it's true. It's true.